Hello, everyone, and welcome to Discipline Daily, where we put discipline first. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about stress, how to cope with it, how to deal with it, and some things that we like to do. Maybe you have a new baby, it's keeping you up at night, causing you a lot of stress. Maybe you got stress at work. Well, today we're going to be discussing that. So if you want to skip to that, we will put a timestamp down at the bottom and on the screen. But first, like always, we're going to be going over a little bit of what we've been up to and things that we've been working on. So, hey, Kyle, what's going on, bro?
What's up, buddy? I feel like it's been a while since we last talked.
I know it seems like we haven't talked a lot this week.
Yeah, man. So lot's been going on. I recently started a few new habits. I think I was talking about last week my little 15-minute yoga session that I do. I love it, man. It's a little bit of yoga, a little bit of core work, a little bit of stretching, a little bit of breathing exercises, a little bit of some back stuff that I do. And it's great. Whatever I need to work on that day, that's kind of what I do. But it's just 15 minutes. It's a great way to relax before I go to bed. I do it at 8:30, from 8:30 to 8:45. It's awesome, man. And I'm trying to get more into meditation. We keep hearing meditation's one of the best things. You were getting pretty good at it. Do you still meditate?
I do off and on, but it's been a little while since I've meditated. But yeah, I like to do it like in the morning after a really hard workout, because it's like after that strenuous workout, you kind of give yourself like 10 to 15 minutes to just like relax from it. Change from being like crazy heavy weightlifting to like, okay, more relaxed. But I need to get more into doing it at night.
Man, would you be down with trying to do it every single night from here on out to so we could really see what the benefits are? I'm gonna keep trying to do it, but I'm only doing about 3 minutes.
Only 3 minutes. Yeah, you gotta do it like at least 10, because it takes you a while to really get into the quieting your brain and really diving into it.
I'm just baby stepping into this one. I'm gonna ramp it up. I just want to get into the habit of actually getting there and doing it. But man, I want you to freaking try and do it every single day, dude. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, see if I can work that in somewhere.
Yeah,
What
try
else
and
have
work
you been
it
up
in.
to?
I started one thing I really like doing is I've been shadow boxing, and in my living room, I have a full body mirror. That's one thing that I really recommend everyone do too. Whatever area you spend the most time in your house, you should have a full body mirror there, and you should have a yoga mat. That combination is super beneficial, man. Like I do all types of stuff in front of that mirror, and I'm just working out or stretching or doing something almost all the time, man.
I think a lot of people are trying not to see themselves every day. They're like, oh, I don't want to see what I look like, because they're ashamed of what they look like.
Oh, and they should be ashamed, man. It's if they take a step back and look at the choices that they're making, you should be ashamed.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to, man. It's all our choices, and it's our choices on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
cool.
what
The shadow boxing thing is pretty cool. So like you just doing it so that you can like get a little more exercise in, or what's your motive behind it?
yeah, it's a little bit of that. It's great cardio, man. So I do it for 3 minutes, and I do it in front of the mirror, and I just aim for my chin every single time. And one thing I never really worked on back when I used to do Muay Thai was when I would strike, I wouldn't really extend my arm too much to like really get that good reach in there. So now when I'm doing it, I try to really extend and almost throw my whole shoulder into it, right? And really get that long reach, because I want to try and get the longest reach I can. So if I'm needing to, throw a punch, it's going to be nice, straight, fast, and, great reach.
You should try to hang up like a punching bag in your garage. You have that cool
Yeah.
little, bar along the top that you could probably hang one from.
Dude, I saw this guy yesterday. He had the coolest freaking punching bag in his garage, and I was talking to him about it. He got it from New Zealand. It was made out of leather, dude. The
I
whole
had
thing.
one just like that, a leather, like all leather one. Those ones are so nice because you can punch it with your bare hands and it doesn't like
Yeah.
tear you up. Like the one I
Yeah.
have now is kind of like a more rougher material. And when I punch it, like my hands are just completely bloody after that.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's what I was telling him. I'm like, "Dude, do you go bare knuckle on that?" And he was saying he did, but I was looking at it, man, I'm like, "Dude, there's, like, no marks on that thing." It's like, "What are you doing, looking at it?"
Dude, a punching bag is a must have. Like when I was growing up after my dad died and I had like a lot of anger issues, man, I would spend like many a nights on that bag just punching it. Just like anytime I had any kind of anger, anything was bugging me, like that punching bag was right there to just, I could just take it out on it. And that, that'll probably tie in a little bit to the stress thing. But yeah, dude, like that's definitely worth having for sure.
Yeah, man. So I'm looking into what exactly I want. I would love a full length one because I would love to throw some kicks in there.
Yeah.
But they're expensive, man. So I'm looking at they have like it's called like an aqua bag and you fill it up with water.
Are those pretty new? I haven't seen those.
I think they're newer. Yeah, I've seen a couple, man. I saw one at the fire department station once, and I saw one in another garage. They're pretty cool.
Wow, man, that's cool. That'd be awesome, dude. Having a
Yeah.
long like, because then when you kick it, it's like the water is kind of like it's not like a heavy sandbag. When you kick
Yeah.
it, it just like hurts like a bitch.
And I
But
think it's cheaper too, because I think all they do is just ship you the bag and you just fill it up with water.
filled water, wow, dude, I might get one of those. Hang it up.
Right?
Where I have a little hang up here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna put mine probably right there. I'm gonna have to find a spot because yeah, man, I need one, man. And so because I miss that feeling of just punching stuff.
Part of me kind of wants to like start taking Muay Thai again because it was just like so much fun back in the day when I did Jiu Jitsu and Muay Thai. It was like, dude, it was like you just felt better about yourself. Like nowadays, it's like I'm not going to get in a fight. If anybody's like coming at me, I'm going to mostly like just walk away or just try to be like, look, dude, calm down. I have too much to lose to get in a
Oh,
fight. But at least having that knowledge though of like, hey, if someone did attack me or something, like I could defend myself. I think every man should like know how to do that.
dude, 100%, man. I miss those Muay Thai times as well, dude. I used to ride my motorcycle about an hour every 5 days a week, all the way. So but this was back when I was living up in the mountains. I would ride all the way to the ocean. I used to do Muay Thai at this place called Dojo Americana. And man, it was the best. I did it for 8 months. I loved it, man. The workouts were great. Like you'd spar with people. It was just the best, man. You learn how to throw punches, elbows, knees, kicking. It's the best.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm probably going to try to get my son into when he's old enough. And maybe I'll start taking the class with him. So it'll be like a father son thing and that'll get me back into it. But yeah, there's nothing like when you have a bad day or something and you just have that bag and you can just unleash on it, just get all your anger out.
Yeah, man. So, other than that, have you been thinking of starting any new habits or how are your habits going? All that stuff.
This is kind of like my first week back from that rib injury and being off work. So I'm trying to get back into, waking up early when you haven't done it for like a couple weeks is like kind of hard. It's like I was so dialed in on it where it didn't even phase me to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like I just get up and I was up. But after like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks of just like not having to go to work, so I could wake up at 6 and be fine. It's like now coming back into that is like it's freaking hard. But I woke up every day this week, so I'm still doing it. And yeah, just getting back on my reading and getting back on everything, just bringing all my habits back. And then there is this new thing I started doing, little grip strength tester right here. So I saw this on YouTube, and supposedly when you when you use this thing, you kind of do it every single day, and you kind of take down how much you're getting every single day. So let's say every day I'm getting around 130, 140 pounds. And then let's say you wake up on a day and you get like 120, 110. It means that you're not recovered from your previous workouts. So you probably need to take a break. Your central nervous system is not recovering. So that's something that I've been doing every day too. Just added that in probably a couple weeks ago. So far so good. I mean, it works pretty good.
So if your grip is down, you're gonna kind of like ease off the throttle.
Yeah. It's like a day where you might want to like, you know, just take a day off, have a rest day. Because your central nervous system, it's not everybody thinks when you work out, it's just your muscles that need recovering, but really it's your central nervous system. So if you're working out, 6 days a week, every single week, and you're not sleeping or you have one off day, it's like
Me.
that's going to affect your central nervous system, and then you're not recovering. So you're just digging a deeper hole. You're not recovering and allowing your body to get the rest it needs. So your performance is going to be off.
That's me, dude. Like I just like if my strength or grip was down, I would just go harder that day and just kill myself.
Yeah, I have that mentality too, dude. But I think it's something where it's almost like too much of a good thing is bad. You can too much of anything is bad. It's like too much water is bad, too much food is bad. There's always that, inverted bell curve where it's like there's a perfect amount and there's a amount that's just too much. So I've been really thinking about that lately too, because I'm like, I'm working out 6 days a week, pretty intense, pretty hard, legs twice a week, chest twice a week, back, everything twice a week. And I'm like, maybe I need to look into a different routine because I'm going to have a baby coming up here soon. I'm not going to be able to get as much sleep as I'm getting now. So it might be one of those things where I need to look into programming a different program and trying to figure out maybe if I can do it like an upper lower split 4 times a week or something like that.
Hey, bro, don't count your chickens before they hatch, man. You don't know, your baby might sleep pretty good.
Yeah.
Like Stevie, dude, she sleeps good, man. She likes to sleep. I feel like if you create a really good environment for the baby and you are on top of feeding them, making sure they're all good fed, all that stuff, they should sleep pretty well, man.
Yeah. And I'm sure like after a while, like I'll get a different routine because, you'll adapt to whatever circumstance you have. But I think in general, even right now, even with getting sleep, it's like maybe I'm just hammering it too hard. What if I could get better gains, better strength gains, better muscle gains if I, dial it back to instead of 6 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week, I might be able to, and then I'll have extra time to do other things I want to do, meditating, things like that. So
Yeah, just mess with it, dude. And are you logging your workouts?
yeah, I always log my workouts. So, but it's just like my strength has never, like my strength has stayed, it's gone up a little bit, but it's never gone up a ton, and I hear a lot of people say if you program right, you can add like 5 pounds a month, to your bench or to your squat or whatever. And mine seems to be going up like slower than that, maybe 5 pounds every couple months. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm just under recovering.
Hmm. That's something that we need to figure out.
Yeah. Yeah. Trial and error, dude. Just, that's what I'm thinking about right now. So I'm like, okay, let's see if I can dial it back and see if my lifts go up.
Yeah, right. All right, and I got a little question for the audience here. I've been thinking about it, and I want to do like a challenge between me and Nick. So leave a comment below what challenge you want to do. I already know one that I would like to do with him, and it's gonna be super cool, dude. We're gonna do a freaking Spartan race, dude. And we're gonna compete against each other, and we're gonna see who is faster.
We, Kyle, they call you the sloth, dude.
Yeah, I am a sloth, but sloths can move quickly when they need to.
Slow and steady wins the race, dude.
Yeah, buddy.
Slow and steady wins the race.
What do
Unless
you think?
unless you're fast and steady.
What do you think, though?
When is the Spartan race?
We'll have to figure that out, but so we'll figure it out. But what do you think? Would you be down to do it? I think it'd be really cool, dude. And if not, we can think of something else. I want to start doing more challenges, even if it's not between me and you. We can do other challenges too. Like I see this one guy, it's Cameron Haynes' son. He does 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups in under 5 minutes. It's pretty legit, man. So I've been kind of like trying to do it. It's pretty tough. It takes me a little longer than that. But I want to try to get under 5 minutes, man, because I want to try and call him out.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. We'll see. We'll get some
Yeah,
feedback.
man. That's the name of the game, man. We need to start taking on these challenges and just trying them out. And but I think a sparring race would be really cool because then we could see who thinks, in the comments below, who you think's gonna win, Nick or Cal St. Kyle. We'll work on it. It'll be a long time, or it might be a little ways out there, but I think that'd be really cool, man.
But you're planting the seed now, huh?
Yeah, buddy.
Cool. I like it.
Right?
All right, dude. You want to get into the meat of the episode?
Yes, sir.
All right, dude. So we're talking about stress, how we deal with it. So first of all, I want to ask you, how has your stress level been since you've had your baby?
My stress level right now is really good. I'm not stressed at all. But man, I'm not gonna lie, I would say the first 3 months were really hard, dude. They were really hard.
What
Uh,
what was it about those first 3 months that made it so hard?
well, one thing, like it was right when Stevie was born. We were probably about a year into our like hardcore personal development journey. So I didn't want to give up my habits, and it's really tough. You got to really juggle things around when you have a newborn. So that was really rough, but I was able to get through it. I would say the best way you could get through it, man, is just by having the best set routine you can. Like go to bed. The thing we could always control is we could always control our book beginning and our book end. The middle of the day, it's up in the air, right?
Yeah.
So you can control when you go to bed. You can control when you wake up. So have that down pat. Like go to bed at 8, a little earlier. Go to bed at 8:30. Wake up earlier, and the baby's going to kind of wake up whenever it wakes up. So you got to try to control what you can. And another thing would be you want to get rid of all the junk in your life. So junk would be any TV watching. Axe that right away. No Netflix. Try to anything that you do that's not going to benefit you or the baby in any way, just axe that completely out.
Yeah.
And you'll get rid of the junk and you'll free up space in your mind so you're not so stressed out. If you have too much stuff going on, like you're going to stress yourself out. So if you just cut out the crap and just keep it with the bare essentials, you'll eliminate a lot of stress.
Yeah. I think you can use that for, without having a baby too. If you're just having a lot of stress, it's like controlling how much sleep you get is probably number one. I would say that's the biggest thing in any area is getting enough sleep, making sure that you're, going to bed around the same time and waking up around the same time every morning. I know that for me, I feel like that helps. I feel like when I would just go to bed at whatever time and, wake up and kind of just like hit the snooze and stuff, like I felt like I was way more stressed out back then than I am now when I have like a set routine. And even on days when I'm like, oh, it's a rest day, like Fridays are my off day of working out. If I don't wake up at 5:30 and I sleep in, I notice that those days I'm a little more stressed out than I am on days if I just wake up at the right time. So that is a big thing.
Heck yeah, man. I after I've been waking up at 5:15 every single morning, like I think I've been doing that ever since I went from 5:30 to 5:15. I still wake up at 5:15 no matter what, man. Even if I go to bed at 11, I'm waking up at 5:15. I don't
Yeah.
care what it is. And I do not I never hit the snooze. I get up, man, and you don't want to break that streak. To me, breaking the streaks kill me. Like it's my biggest thing.
I hear too, like if you hit the snooze, it's like you have these sleep cycles. So if your alarm goes off and you wake up and then you hit the snooze, it's like you're going back into a sleep cycle. And if you get up like 10 minutes later after your second, alarm goes off, it's
Oof.
like you woke yourself out of that second sleep cycle or however many sleep cycles. So you're more tired throughout the day. So like, instead of hitting the snooze, it's so much better just to, like, as soon as your alarm goes off, to just get up. So maybe setting your alarm across the room or a little bit farther where you can't get to it, so you have to get out of bed, or setting multiple alarms. I mean, that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah, I set my phone, my phone's my alarm, and it's on my dresser, which is on the other side of the room. Because I want to keep my phone kind of away from me anyways when I sleep, because at night your phone is getting bombarded by all types of junk. So you don't want that by your head while you're sleeping because it's going to mess up with your sleep. You
Yeah,
almost want it out of the room if
yeah.
you can.
I think another thing too for stress for me is making sure that I'm active. I think, like, when I don't work out, like I remember when we first started driving for UPS, I stopped working out because I was like, oh, I'm working late nights. I don't really want to work out. I'm tired. I used all the same excuses, and I remember just being a lot more stressed out when I didn't work out. And then when I started bringing my workouts back in, it's like, oh, I feel better now. I feel more energized. I have more energy, even though I'm working a hard job. It's like I'm still having more energy. I feel like it releases endorphins. It gives you like more dopamine. It just helps you to not be so stressed out.
Dude, I remember when you got like all excited about when you started doing that because you're like the way we were doing it was we were just going to work, right? And by working out and doing something for yourself in the morning, you could feel great about your whole day because you started it off with doing something great for yourself, and then the rest is icing on the cake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a big thing too. It's like a lot of people, they don't do anything for themselves. They have kids and they have their wife and they have their job and they have everything going on, and then they stop doing anything for themselves. They stop working out. They stop making themselves a better person. And I think that can stress you out too, because it's like deep down inside, that you're not doing what you need to do to like stay on top of yourself. Like, let's say something happened. There's a guy out there, he has a wife and kids, and let's say something happened, his wife leaves him or whatever, and or cheats on him or whatever happens and leaves him, and then he's just there alone, and he's overweight. He has no wife now. He has no skills at anything else. It's like you're gonna feel super stressed out. And it's like, even if you're in a relationship and you're not doing those things, like, I'm not doing the things I need to do to stay on top of just being me. And so it's like, I think when you are like doing those things, you feel better about yourself. You feel like no matter what happens, I can handle it. So, what are some other things that do you think, that have helped you with stress?
Eating healthier is a huge one as well. So you want to eat healthy, you want to I mean, we get plenty of sunlight, man. That's the great thing about our job. We get plenty of sunlight, so that's huge. We walk a ton. We get like about 20,000 steps in a day.
Yeah, we get
So,
outside a lot, which is good.
yeah,
Now,
man.
there was
So
a thing I saw too that was like, your brain, it like reacts to like sharp corners, like say inside of your house and your walls, or and your countertops or whatever, and your brain doesn't like that. Your brain likes organic, it likes round, it likes more nature, like rocks, like formations and foresty and stuff like that. Your brain actually likes being in that. So when you're inside and you're behind a square computer and you have the light on you, artificial light, and you're at a square desk and you have a square room and everything, it's like your brain doesn't like that. It gets you more stressed out.
hell yeah, man. And then you're getting bombarded by all the dopamine. But yeah, our eyes, we want to gaze far distances, man. So you want to look like as you're walking, you want to look at the mountains. You want to look way out there. That's what we want. That's yeah, you're exactly right with that.
Yeah, and I think too, like that can also tie into like, you know, getting it, like the punching bag thing, and getting your stress out on a treadmill. But instead of doing it on a treadmill, go run, go take a run, go for a swim, go outside and just do the shadow boxing outside, be outside, get
Mhm,
sunlight. I think that's a
for
big
sure.
thing too, because people that don't get sunlight, they're depressed. I mean, you look at people that live in like Washington where it's always raining, those people are way more depressed than people over here. I mean, look at grunge music, dude. That's where grunge music came from. Like literally depressing music comes from there.
I don't blame them, man. I'd be depressed over there too.
Dude, it's like even like in the wintertime when the sun goes down earlier, like when the sun sets at 4 o'clock, it's like I'm a little more depressed in the winter than I am in the summer when the sun's out until like 8 o'clock at night, you
Yeah,
know?
man. I get super excited. Well, I can't wait for springtime,
I know.
summer.
It's
Whew,
close too, dude. We got like a month left, like no, like 2 weeks left till
oh,
it changes, man. It's gonna be so
dude.
dope.
I'm happy as a clam when the sun's out. Yeah.
So I think one more big thing too for me is was stoicism, dude. I think stoicism really helped with um my stress and anxiety and stuff. And it's one thing that I still like. I get the daily Stoic email every morning, and I read that. I know you have the book by Ryan Holiday, Daily Stoic, and you read that every morning. So yeah,
Bro,
that's a big thing too, and just realizing that you can only control what you can control. You know,
bro, you gotta read. Once your kid comes here, man, you gotta get the Daily Stoic actual book. Um,
I
and
saw it at
just
Barnes and Noble. I was gonna get it, but I got a couple other books.
dude, I want to get the leather bound one. They make a leather bound one. It's like $100. It's
They have a
worth it.
journal too, dude. You should go to Barnes and Noble. They have like
Yep.
this cool like daily Stoic journal, and it like has like I don't know.
Prompts
It's
and
like it's
stuff.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I'm good, man. I don't need any prompts. I can write up a storm. You should see what I wrote today, man. I think I think no, I didn't tell you this. Steph's had a couple friends stay over, and I let one of them read what I wrote today, and she was blown away, dude. I got her into reading the Daily Stoic every day, and so she read what I wrote this morning. She's like, "Man, that's like the Daily Stoic right there." I'm like, "Yeah, that was a good one."
Yeah.
Um, but
Definitely
dude,
so.
reading the Daily Stoic book, the actual, so you read one day, so it's like March 1st. You read March 1st day, right? And what we do, it's like our little tradition here is we read out loud. So one day I'll go, one day Steph will go, and then eventually one day Stevie, once she can read, she'll go, right? And that way we're practicing, and we did it last night. I read, or no, I did it this morning. I read it in front of Steph and her two other friends. It was kind of scary, man. It was like public speaking, right? So by us reading it out loud, we're practicing public speaking, and it's just awesome, man. At the end, you can discuss it, and it's just a really good way of jump starting stoicism for the day. It's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah, that daily stoic email too that I get is really cool because it's like literally every morning you read it and then you're like, okay, cool. Like, and sometimes it's weird. It's almost like that astrological stuff where it's like you read it for the day and it's like, oh wow, that was me today, or you know that stupid stuff. But literally, it's kind of like that. Like you read it and you're like, wow, like this pertains to exactly what I needed today. You know?
Dude, I was telling Steph the craziest thing too. March 1st, that day was about kind of like losing control. And I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. The prior day, I kind of lost control a little bit on some guy. And I'm like, what the heck? The next day it was that. I'm like, dude, that was so weird.
Yeah. And that's a cool thing too, is like, cause you know, even with all the work that we do, it's like sometimes, you know, it's like we're not perfect and you regress or you have a day where you're just like, oh man, like I shouldn't have done that. And it's like by reading these things, it's like you're still instilling it in your head so that you know what you did wrong and maybe next time you can be better the next time.
Man,
So
it's all that awareness, man.
yeah, so if you guys are interested in Stoicism, there's a couple books. Meditations by Marcus Aurelius is a really good book to start out with because that's like basically where you know a lot of people get their information from Stoicism from. And then the author Ryan Holiday has a ton of good books out. The Daily Stoic, Ego is the Enemy, Stillness is Key. There's a ton of books from him that you can read, and he also has a YouTube channel called The Daily Stoic, so you guys should definitely subscribe to them. And yeah, that's definitely something that's really helped with stress.
100%, man. Yeah, that Ryan Holiday is a beast. He's all he does is reads and writes. So that's why I'm reading and writing, man, and I love it. I can't wait. You need to start journaling, man. I literally the more I do it, the more I realize you're creating one of the best assets I think you could create in this life. Like to go back in time and be like, "Hey, I wonder what I was doing in 2023," and relive those memories, man. That you can't buy that, dude.
Yeah.
And then you get to pass that down to your kid, and Stevie's gonna be like, "Oh wow, I wasn't even 1 years old, and this is what's going on." She gets to live like more life that
Yeah.
way.
That is pretty awesome too, because it's like when something happens to you or you pass on and Stevie is there, like she'll be able to read those things and like learn a little bit more about her dad, you know?
Yeah, man, and I put in a lot of valuable information, like stuff that I wish I would have known when I was younger, and she'll get it right off the bat, man. And it's pretty cool. Like I feel like that's the way families should go. You know, you should progress and get better. And like my parents taught me a lot of things, and I'm trying to learn from them and learn from their mistakes, and then I'm gonna just keep it going. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think for me, dude, it's getting my exercise, making sure I'm getting my exercise, making sure that I'm outdoors, walking and doing something outdoors, getting some sunlight, making sure that I'm getting good food, good nutritious food, because that's big too. It's like your nutrients is what's helping you with your brain. You know, your brain, all your hormones and everything, all the hormones going through your brain. That's going to help with that. And then making sure you do something for yourself every day, something you like. Making sure that you're reading things about stoicism and just getting the fact that like you can't control everything. You really can't control everything. There's only so many things you can control. And a lot of times things happen to you and you start getting stressed out, but it's like, hey, dude, calm down. At the end of the day, in 10 years from now, whatever's happening right now, it's probably not even going to matter to you in 10 years. So
Mhm.
why are you making it such a big deal right now? It doesn't need to be that big of a deal. Like all you can control is what you can control. And by telling yourself that, it always calms me down. Every single time it calms me down. Like, hey, I can't control this. There's nothing I can do here. Because I think, with especially with men, you really want to be in control of everything. But
Mhm.
sometimes you just gotta like let it go.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm so stoked that you turned me on to stoicism, man, because it's life changing, guys. Like if it once you start going down the rabbit hole of stoicism, you will not regret it. And it's a practice, guys. You have to practice it daily. It's very difficult. So the only way you can become good at it is by practicing it daily. And that's why following the daily stoic and stuff like that and reading the daily stoic every single day, it gets your mind into the mode it needs to be. So look into it, guys. It's great stuff.
Is there anything else that you would like to add in for stress at this point?
So far, I mean, I feel like if you do all that, you should be pretty good. You should be well off. Just make sure you have be in control of your book beginning, book end. You know, you can control when you go to bed, you can control when you wake up. Remember that, guys. So just and cut out the junk and you'll be all right. If I could do it and with all the stuff that I'm doing on top of it, you guys can do it too. And Nick, I think you should look at that too. Like if Kyle can do it, you could do it too, dude. So
I think that's one more thing that I would like to add about the stress thing too is like with cutting out the junk. It's like we always nowadays have our phones and we have so much notifications and we get the news at every single turn. We get the news and it's like the news nowadays is very negative. It's always
mhm.
negative. There's always something going on. There's always some bad thing. There's always this or that, and it's just bombarding you every single day. And there's always going to be the bad news. It's just there's always going to be the bad news. And I'm not saying like don't be informed, but I'm just saying don't look at it every single day because that'll get you just so stressed out. You'll start stressing out on, the economy's going down the drain, this and that and this and that, and then that'll start stressing you out.
Yeah.
So, that's another thing. And then the other thing along those lines is like stop using the words in your head. Change your mental self-talk to, instead of I have to do something. And I think we've talked about this before. It's
Mhm.
I get to do something. Instead of I have to take my kids to school, you get to take your kids to school.
Yeah.
You're lucky that you get to be alive and you get to do these things, because some parents aren't around anymore to do those things, and they wish they. I mean, if they're dead, they probably don't know, but they would wish they were there to do that. And some parents
Yeah.
can't do it. Maybe they're in jail. Maybe they live, in a different place. Maybe they don't have custody of their kids and they wish they could take their kids to school. So,
Bro, that's a really good point, man. That whole thinking is a great way of looking at a lot of things. I get to do this. I get to do this, man. Because you always got to remember, there's people that don't get to do that. Like there's a lot of people out there that can't have kids, and they would kill for a kid. So if you have a kid, take it as a blessing. Take care of the kid. Do the best you could do. Be a great parent. Be there for the kid. Try to make the kid's life a great life. That's my goal. I want Stevie to be financially free to where she could do anything she wants to do in this world. Like if she wants to travel the world, I want her to be able to do that. And that's my goal, to provide that for her. And I feel like that should be the goal of every parent, to just give the life they want their kid to live and give it to them.
yeah, I think it's just changing your perspective. Like everybody needs to look at their perspective and think like, what would happen if I couldn't be here? Or what would happen, look at it from a different angle where you're appreciative to be getting to do what you get to do. And I think that will help a lot with people's stress.
Yeah, bro. That's like a little bit of stoicism with memento mori. You know,
Yeah.
you should be thankful that you're alive today. You never know when your time runs out. You could die tomorrow. So you should always let that be in the back of your head, and then let that determine how you're going to react to things or act in general. Be like, hey, I could die tomorrow. So instead of being a jerk to this guy, I'm going to be a little nicer to him, because this could be the last thing I ever say.
Yeah. Yep. We always think that every day is promised, tomorrow's promised, but it's not. It's never promised. And you just got to live your life the best you can every single day and try to do the best you can and be happy that you get to spend another day. Every time I wake up, I'll tell myself that too. Like, I'm thankful to be alive today, because I could not be. So,
Same here, bro. And it doesn't matter what day of the week it is, man. It could be a Monday, a Tuesday, a Sunday. Every day to me is the same. It's a day, and every day is the same, man. You get 24 hours. So what are you going to do with those 24 hours?
sweet, dude. I'm sure we'll do an episode on stoicism here soon. All right, dude. Well, I think that was pretty good for stress. So let's get into some of
Great.
those juicy Twitter
Yeah,
news.
buddy. All right, guys, let's get into some Twitter
Twitter
news.
news. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. All right. If you ain't subscribed and you ain't liking, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're just getting these nuggets for free, dude.
So this is from Alex, the copywriting dad. I've done a few from this guy. So he wrote a little thread. It's on dopamine. He put cheap dopamine as a quick ticket to depression. Here's how to reset your brain's dopamine levels and focus better than 99% of the people, right? So he goes through a decent amount of stuff. It's pretty much like do a dopamine detox. His little detox is go on a walk, listen to music, do fun activities like dancing, painting, ping pong, hang out with friends.
That's not
Two,
detoxing though.
yeah, right. That's what I'll get into that. Two, get enough sleep. Three, prioritize your workout. Four, eat clean. Five, get enough sunlight. So I put on this, and it didn't get a lot. It got over, it got 2,500 views, only 2 likes. I put, this isn't enough to combat the amount of dopamine we all get on a daily basis. And then I put another comment to that comment. I put, fasting from all forms of dopamine is the only way. The rest just helps. I
Yeah,
think
I
I'm
mean,
right, bro.
yeah, I mean, you're adding in music, which is releasing dopamine. Going on a walk, I mean, that's releasing dopamine. I mean, all those things he's talking about is releasing dopamine. I mean, maybe the eating clean part. I mean, that
Yeah.
could be, but no, dude, if you're gonna do a dopamine detox, you got to stay away from all that stuff. I mean, reading is probably the only thing you can do. It's like reading, but if you're somebody who enjoys reading, then you might
Yeah.
not even want to read because that's gonna release dopamine.
Yeah. That's why dude, and like everybody, all these other big name dudes were like great thread. Like this legacy builder guy is like great thread.
Oh,
And
dude.
all these other, I'm like, no, dude, that's not a good thread.
You know what you do? You go outside and you sleep in the frigid cold weather on the outside floor with no pillow and no blankets. And then you get up and then you go and do some strenuous hard work. And then you go take a cold shower. And then, and then you eat broccoli. And that's how you do a real detox.
I agree. Yeah. So I don't know. That dude's tripping, man. I don't, yeah. So you guys got to kind of watch where you get your information. This guy, I mean, he's got 160,000 followers. So
I mean, those things are fine, but they're not. It's just it's misinterpreting it to say like that's a detox. That's a detox. I
yeah,
mean,
it helps.
stay off your phone and stay off social media and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be better than doing nothing, but it's
Yeah.
not hardcore enough.
Not enough. I mean, maybe for some people, but like for
Yeah,
us, we do all those.
yeah.
That's
Oh
what
yeah,
I'm saying.
that's
So
already like a. That's what we do on an everyday basis.
yes, it's not enough
No.
for us. Maybe we're different. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe for some people, it's you got to look at it from their lens. Maybe the people that are on social media, 20 hours, 24 hours a day,
Yeah, that's true.
just getting that dopamine hit every time eating McDonald's and ice cream all day.
That's true. Sometimes I get into like a weird mindset where I think everybody's like me, but I think we're different, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't, and that's the thing too. You really can't like force other people to think like you. But you just gotta live your example, and then hopefully people will want to get better. And if they don't, well, then that's on them. Nothing to
that's
do
the
with you.
name. That's the name of the game, man. You don't want to tell people what to do. You want to show them.
Exactly.
So, all right. And then next up, we got the subconscious mind again. I love this guy. All right. So he says, we are at war, and the enemy knows that the subconscious absorbs everything. I think he's right. The subconscious
Unpack
absorbs.
that a bit. Unpack that a bit.
So the subconscious does absorb everything, man. That's why you got to be really careful what you're exposing yourself to, right? You want to put good things into your mind. Like we were kind of saying earlier, you want to put nice positive things in your mind. You don't want to be watching the news or all this other crap that they bombard us with, right? You want to just control that. I
Yeah.
think that's what he's talking about.
So he's basically talking about like all the propaganda and stuff that they try to push to us through our social
'Cause-
media, through the
'cause-
news, and through everything.
yeah, because they know that the subconscious absorbs everything, man.
Yeah,
The sponge.
it does.
So you
It does.
guys, you got to be very careful what you feed your mind.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. You got to watch out what you consume through food and through your mind.
100%. All right, guys. And then next up, we got one that I did. If you can't perform a body squat where your butt touches your ankles, you have no business adding weight to a barbell.
Are you talking shit about me, Kyle?
Kind of am. I honestly feel like it's just funny that you see people go into the gym, right? And they can't properly do a squat at all, and they're already adding weight to the barbell. You
Yeah.
can't do that. You're
At least
you're
if you're,
literally
especially
asking.
if you're not like like lifting your heels up to get making sure you're getting good.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I used to see it. I used to be a personal trainer for like 5 years, guys. So I used to see it in the gym all the time. People, they're skipping foundational stuff and they're ego lifting. don't ego lift. Who cares if you're just lifting the bar? I'd rather lift the bar correctly than a bar with 45 pounds and you're just doing horrible reps. You're not going to grow and you're just going to increase your likelihood you're going to get injured.
Yeah, injury definitely. I remember when I was squatting without raising my heels up because I have a bad ankle, I would put a lot of pressure on my lower back, and every single time I squatted, my lower back just hurt so bad. And I'm like, dude, I gotta fix this. And that's when I found the ATG buddies that lift your heels up so that I can squat down perfectly without needing to like round my back at all. So
Dude, I never used to be able to do a full body squat and touch my ankles, but I think ever since I've been doing so many body squats, dude, it's insane. And the other day, I've been trying to one of my little goals was to be able to do a pistol squat. And dude, like 2 weeks ago, I kind of did it. It wasn't perfect, but I kind of did it, dude.
nice.
And I
Without
blew
holding
my,
on to anything?
huh?
Without holding on to
Yeah,
anything?
without anything, man. We were in my backyard and Steph and her cousin was here. And then I was telling him like how I kind of want to do a pistol squat. And she was her cousin was asking me about pull-ups because she's trying to do a pull-up and she's pretty close, man. And then she's like, "Oh, how did you start doing pull-ups?" I was like, "One day I just did it." And then so I kind of like I'm trying to do the pistol squat and I like just did it and she's like, "Oh wow, you just did that too." I'm like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I mean, people should definitely work on their mobility. I mean, that's something that's why I like to stretch a lot at night because it's like I need to work on my mobility. And I have an ankle problem because I broke my ankle when I was younger and it kind of healed wrong. So it's being stubborn. It doesn't want to get mobile. But I mean, I've been working on it. There's a YouTube channel called Squat University, and they put a band around because they say sometimes there's a bone that's like impinging it and won't allow you to stretch it. So I've been putting a band like around my ankle and then doing these like ankle stretches to try to help it. But it's just being really stubborn. So, I mean, my hips and everything were really tight. I think I told you when I was trying to do the just sitting in a squat, even holding on to something, it was like my leg, my hips, and my knees started really hurting. And I started doing that every single day for like 2, 3, 4 minutes. I got up to 5 minutes. And then I think I got up to 7 minutes, like just sitting in it without having pain. And so now all I have to do is lift my heels and the rest of it is fine. So once I can get that damn ankle to start getting mobile, then I can do it without those. That's the goal.
That's awesome. Does your ankle hurt you?
No, it doesn't hurt me. It's just when I broke it, I never went to the doctor. I didn't get like a cast put on it or anything. And so it just healed. It just healed like kind of wrong. Like the bone's kind of off. So it just my ankle has never really it hasn't flexed like it used to flex.
Seeing a
So
lot of people would use that ankle as an excuse for the rest of their lives, huh?
yeah. You can't do, but dude, I just want to be able to squat. Like, I think there's nothing cooler than seeing somebody squat down ass to grass with like a ton of weight on their back. It's to me, that's really cool,
I think
So,
I think the coolest is an overhead squat.
yeah,
I
definitely.
I want to be able to do that, but man, that's tough.
Yeah, yeah.
So
You got to start that at a young age so you can have that mobility.
I'll be
That's
working on
mobility.
that one too. I got a couple weird things I'm trying to work on. The pistol squat is one. I'm still working on my human flag. I kind of got that down, man. The human flag's dope. Because I want to be able to like show up places and just bust out a human flag and do it in front of Stevie all the time. And then it'll be funny. She'll go over to her friends' houses and stuff, right? And she'll be like, "Hey, can your dad do the human flag?"
Yeah, you're 50 years old doing the human flag.
Yeah.
For
No,
me,
he
it's like just being flexible, dude. Like imagine seeing like a 50-year-old guy like being able to do the splits, 60-year-old guy doing the splits, and he's just so flexible. Like that's one thing that I want to be able to do when I'm older is just be super flexible and be able to still lift a lot of weight.
well, shoot. So are you doing your stretch session every single day?
Yeah.
Wow.
And
And how long?
I have it written down. And so I added a little bit of upper body and then mostly lower body. I think we talked about it last time, but yeah, I do a ton of lower body stuff. It's about a half an hour right now.
How long
So
have you had that streak going for?
I don't know, when did I talk about it? I think it was maybe a month and a half now, maybe a little longer.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's a day here or there where at first I thought maybe it was affecting my squatting because I'm like stretching at night, all my legs. And I was like, oh, I think my squatting's getting a little bit weaker because, I stretched out the muscles, but I think I was just tripping that day. So I took like a couple of days here and there off of it, but no, for the most part, I stick to it.
That's good, guys. All right. So yeah, that was Twitter news, guys. So make sure you follow me on Twitter. It's at Tesla Spaceship or Calisthenic Kyle. I'm sitting at 1,600 followers. So I'm trying to get to 10,000. Help me get there.
Yeah. And smash that like button if you like the episode, subscribe for more of these gems of videos.
Heck
And
yeah.
yeah, so really good podcast, Kyle. Another
I
one in the
agree.
books, number 11.
I agree, buddy.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, pain is good.
Pain is great.